so many times we have met on like the here, but not in person, man. So it's so cool to see you and the team there, man. I got Zuriel there.
Oh, the lovely Zuriel. I got some news for her too, so I'm gonna drop that in on this interview. But seeing you at C2E2, that was my first time there as well. Because Jari and Lau, the writer of Jari writes Deja Vu, Lau writes Watchmen. They're both from Chicago. They told me to make my way. There you go.
That's where I got this one, the meetup, man, the collab.
Yeah, that collab is crazy.
It's crazy,
and,
dude.
So I came out to C2E2. Plus, we were nominated for some awards for the I forget the name of the award, man.
Yeah.
But I was there for that to see if we won. They had us in about 3 categories, and I didn't know that you were there hosting and stuff like that too, man. So that turned out to be dope.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was so good to see you and the rest of the team, man. And we were just talking before we hit live, man. It looks like you have some plans for some more cons next year. Hope you make it down into Texas. I'll be at Dallas Fan Expo, so if you're there, man, if you need anything from me, I'm there for you. But I can't wait to meet you. And I got to get my OG issue 1 Acolyte signed by you, man.
Print 1 right there, man. The original art, the original, script.
I jumped in early, Alonzo. I jumped in early, man.
Keeping it concrete as always, man. And I've always appreciated that since the beginning, since the 2020 resurgence of comics.
Exactly, yeah. I think I had you on, in 21.
Yep, 2021.
Like man, I popped up on this, and I've been loving it ever since, man. Acolyte Dimitri, such an amazing character. I know a lot of times when you go on a podcast, we're talking Konkret as a company, since you kind of lead the company, but you got to get your flowers, man, for some of the writing that you've done with Acolyte, Zuriel.
Man, I appreciate that, man.
Your titles, man.
Man,
look at my Konkret stack, bro.
Oh, see, that's crazy, man. Like, like if I can just marvel in it for a minute, just looking at that is like, like I didn't, like when you really think about it, it's like, dang, we really put out some books.
Dude, you put out some titles, man.
We really put out some titles and put our mark. Like, I think at this point, we were able to, we're a company that people could say, oh yeah, because when I do my research on like Milestone and I learn about them, I think their span was like 4 years, right?
Yeah.
4 years, they put out so much work that their legacy is cemented in just the lore of comics, and they're still around today. But that run they had cemented them forever, and I think, and I would hope that we did that at Konkret over our 5-year run so far. We really cemented ourselves as a staple in just the indie comic community and just the comic book community.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than anybody, man. It's not easy creating a presence within indie comics, man. There's a lot of amazing creators that make their comics, but it's a very crowded space on Kickstarter, especially Instagram and TikTok is quite crowded. For you to do what you've done over all this time has been absolutely incredible, man. So congrats to you and the entire team. I love Deja Vu. I love Watchmen. We were just kind of talking about these two amazing characters from Chicago. And this is where I saw the team, and I had to pick up the foil version of the collab that they did. And incredible, man.
Yes, sir.
Got two zeros too, man. But maybe I'll get one away tonight, man. That way someone else could jump in and try it, because I got 2 of these ones. But Deja Vu. I mean, let's just go through some of these titles real quick, Lonzo, just to give people an idea of what you got. Which one's that one?
This is the Deja Vu trade. All 6 issues.
That's dope, dude.
All 6 right there. Yeah. No, it's amazing. It's been an amazing journey for all of us, man. Just because we all just had a dream to make comic books, and it organized as a publishing house, and now just seeing people turn, I get the privilege of seeing a lot of these creators in the beginning when they don't have a book, then to see them now, years later, recognized. it's just a humbling feeling, to see to just see what you can do. And that's why, like, I believe anybody that asks me, any new creator, any writer that's just asking me like how to get started, and I want to be where you guys at, and like I can literally say you can do this. I've seen it done multiple times. It just takes dedication, work, and that drive.
I mean, it must be surreal. Let's kind of go through some of the titles, right? I think at the beginning we talked about Acolyte. Amazing character, man. The storyline has been dope. I'm missing 5 and 6, so I just picked those up on the last Kickstarter. Cannot wait to read those.
I can't wait for you to read 5 and 6, man. Five is probably my favorite one. Like
is
4, 5 is my favorite one because I really get to go into that space realm, man. Like, I've been building up to him leaving Earth.
Right.
And when he gets out there, like I get to open it up now. I mean, I get to start showing you different civilizations and aliens and just, everything that makes my heart melt, man. I love that's my dream right there, is to go far and beyond. You know what I mean? So
what's next with Acolyte, right? We just had the Kickstarter, you had the trade. I'm more of a floppy guy, so I had to make sure that my collection was complete on floppies, but you had the trade. I mean, it's got to be surreal, Lonzo, for you, over these 5 years, so many titles have been launched. Now you're to the point where you're creating trades, like collected works of arcs. I mean, that's got to be surreal, man.
Trades was a milestone. Just being able to get to that point because, it's dropping your first issue is easy. The second one is the hardest. Because the first issue, everybody's giving it a chance. They want to see what it's like, what's going on here. So the fact that our first Kickstarter did well, but our second Kickstarter did better, meant we had a good product that people liked. And we're able to keep producing it because people keep wanting it. You know what I mean? People keep asking for it. So the fact that we're able to do that just means we didn't just come out here just to make comic books. Like, we wanted to tell stories that people would fall in love with. And I'm pleased to say I think that every title we got here, Konkret, feeds into somebody's spirit of what they want to read.
Couldn't agree more. Well, you jumped from Acolyte, tapped into Zuriel. We were just kind of talking about that. This one is signed, so I got this one at C2E2. Man, beautiful.
Zuriel's my baby.
This cover is insane too, man.
Zuriel's my baby, and I'm releasing, like, me personally, I'm releasing my stories, my characters in the way that I created them. So, the first character I created was the legendary Acolyte. I dropped out with him, and then have you read issue 4 yet? Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So Sith Row made his interest in there. That was my second character I created. You know what I'm saying? And then Zuriel was my third, but I knew she was more of a flagship on her own because her story was so different from Acolytes. But Sith Row is another flagship, but he's being introduced into the stories of Acolyte. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a bad man.
Just slowly building up my personal Lonzo universe within the Konkret universe and just dropping them one by one. But the
art is insane too.
There he goes, Sith Row, man. He's a menace. He popped out and instantly became a fan favorite. They asking when that book dropping. So his and to the people that are asking, all my outlines have been approved by the editor-in-chief. So I'm free to just create. As you asked about Acolyte, what's next for him after the trade? Issue 7 is already written. And the full volume has been approved. Issue 7 through 10. 10 is one of them ones for me, man. When I get there, it's gonna be pandemonium, pandemonium and pure chaos, man. And I'm excited. I'm excited for where I'm taking you guys from issue 7, because it's leading right after issue 6, which I don't want to spoil it for you. But the way I end issue 6, you're gonna be like, what the hell is gonna happen from this point on? And how are we going to get out of this predicament? So I'm very excited for the readers and the supporters of Acolyte for the story that we're going to be telling. My artist Bruno has been on my ass. He like, yo, send that script. So he's locked in and ready to just go full fledged. So I'm very excited about the next stage, and we're actually doing something different with the way we title our books. Although it's a true number 7, every arc we're going to start it at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for like, I want the readers to be able to pick up our books from anywhere, but you'll know this is true number 7 or true number 8 or blah blah blah. But on the main cover, it may say 1, 2, 3, volume 2. You know what I'm saying?
I love it, man. I love it. I think that's really important, right? Because, and you know, man, as an indie creator, even though you had such a successful, couple Kickstarters to launch Acolyte, there's still a large audience that are going to be introduced to that character for the first time. So to have that kind of open door for them to be able to jump right in, and then obviously they'll fall in love and they'll go back and they're going to want those back issues to figure out how this all began, the training that he went through, and obviously leading up until you're starting to world build with the rest of, all these, I guess, worlds and planets and space and everything like that, and the characters that come from that. I can't wait, man. I'm more of a sci-fi. I mean, I love comic books. I'm a big Green Lantern fan, and that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy Acolyte, because obviously I get a different storyline, different taste, different characters, but it is happening in space, and there is some similarities, which I absolutely love, man.
Yeah. You see, I'm a big Silver Surfer fan. Silver Surfer is one of my favorites, man. I always thought he was the coolest. Even though I didn't even really know a story when I was younger, but just the concept of somebody flying through space on a surfboard to me was the greatest thing I've ever. Like, I don't think there's a cooler, more aura-based character than Silver Surfer. Like, to me, that's just crazy. Just imagine him flying through the galaxies, and you see him going through all this energy and bright lights of space, and he just cruising. You know what I'm saying? That's fire to me. So I wanted to, and I love Superman too. I'm a big fan of Superman and Martian Manhunter. I wanted to blend all that in there. I think for me, where the parallel was and where I wanted to attack with Acolyte is, for one, it's not a lot of brothers in space. You know what I mean? It ain't been a lot of black characters in space. All I had was like Lando, and I love Lando. But outside of that, you know what I mean? What prominent superheroes that look like me go in space and do stuff like that? I don't think there's any. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you got John Stewart, who's a Green Lantern, but outside of him, man, I'm not too sure, right? We know Icon in the Milestone universe is from space, but he was more of a
he's on Earth, and he was a slave or something like that. I mean, like, I want to break out of that. Like, just make a cool character that happened to look like me and is doing all the cool space stuff. So with the parallels of Superman and Silver Surfer, I feel like Silver Surfer is the loneliest man in the universe, right? And he's not really relatable. Where Superman, he's not really relatable either, but he doesn't go to space enough. So how do you blend? So I want to act like to be a part of both of that, but in his own story and be me in that light. And that's kind of why I created Acolyte.
It came through, Alonzo. It came through, man. Anybody who hasn't read Acolyte, you need to jump on board right now. There is a trade, so you can read those first 6 issues. But it's dope. Yeah.
I don't know why the camera's acting up. It's hating on me a little bit. Yep, there it go. That full Acolyte, man. Volume 1. You see the pages. See, just one turn, it turns into gloriousness, man. You see that? Every time I turn the page, it's just a banger after banger. That's it, man.
Bruno's incredible. Well, let's get in, because you do have a street level side of Konkret too, and we kind of talked a little bit about that with Watchmen and Deja Vu. We got the collab that we did. Here is Deja Vu. I do have an extra 0, so if you want it, say something in the comments. I will send this to you. All free, man. Make sure we share some of the love. I don't need to, but
huge character, a lot of success with Deja Vu. One of the fastest growing titles we had. As you see, he jumped out there quick, and he's already in trade format already. 6, technically it's 7 issues in there because his 0 issue is in the trade as well.
Yeah.
So Deja Vu is really a dope character that added to the universe. Him and Watchmen both play a cool landscape in the street level type tiers, because they're 2 different type of styles. Where Watchmen's more of the street patrolling type, just saving the city. Deja Vu is more like an Iron Man, where it's like he's not really patrolling the city, but if something is out there that he feels is threatening to the people or to his company, some type of technology out there that shouldn't be out there, he's going to go out there and try to get that and stop that. So that's a dope parallel between them two. And you got to see that in the collab as well. Like they're both their narratives, where one is just wants to go out there and punch on people. The other one's more, let's think about this. Let's do the right thing. And then, we got my personal favorite Primate, man. I love Primate. Primate is my personal favorite outside of my titles. Issue 2 and 3, I can't wait for you to read them.
Yeah.
Issue 2 and 3, Avery took it to another level, and he's another young creator. I think Avery might be like 22 years old, 23 years old, I believe. What's going on, Brad Arnie?
What's up, Brad? Thanks for joining.
And yeah, so Avery with Primate, it's so rugged and gritty, and he does this. He's the Punisher of Concrete Universe. Like he's not taking no answers. He's not talking. He's just blowing heads off. That's it. and it's rightful heads. Like it's not just anybody. It's not just it's not just anybody. These are people that you wouldn't mind something happening to.
Justifiable, man. It's justifiable.
And it paints a dope landscape of the Concrete Universe, because you don't see that side in Acolyte, or you don't really see that in Watchmen and Deja Vu, where it's like that type of political side of things. But and then you double down Primate with Absolver, you go even deeper and darker into the realm, where you really get supernatural and you get spiritual and you get to see the gritty and the guts and the blood. Like, so that it's just a dope combination of characters that make up reality in the Concrete Universe. You got the cosmos, you got the high political side of street level tier, then you got the street level of Watchmen, then you got the gritty side of street level with Primate, then you got the underneath that you got the supernatural with Absolver and Zoriel, and then
Absolver's cool, dude. That's like your spawn of your universe, man. Just absolutely fabulous, bro.
Absolver's fire because it has its own it's like its own cult following. Like Jamil exists in his own world with his supporters. Like the people that like those type of stories usually don't like nothing else. They don't like that. You know what I mean? Like they're dove into that darkness and that grittiness. And that's what I love about Absolver, what he brings to the universe as well. He speaks to a certain demographic of people that like to get a little dirty, people that like to get a little dirty. And then we have the gods. We have Tenok. We have Odina. We have Kendaki. Yep. The God of Fire, one of the best written books of Concrete as well. And the writer Daniel Grimm, I just spoke to him the other day. He's doing amazing with his horror publishing company.
Oh yeah.
We got Odina, the first lady of Concrete Comics, representing all the demigoddesses out there. Yep. Odina's amazing, and got that full volume trade as well for Odina. I love this cover, by the way.
Yeah,
so powerful, so in your face, like who you messing with type of look to it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Odina's great. Naji's doing amazing things with Odina and Kendaki and Sister Circle. So it's just our universe is just filling up with great characters, and I think one of the other things that we do amazing here at Concrete is no character takes up the space of another.
Yeah, you're very good at choosing what your universe needs, and then you fill that void with a really good character. I have to admit, and it's awesome.
Yeah, like it's nobody. Everybody's a star. Every character can be a star because they're all in their own separate lane, and we don't want to we don't want to get so convoluted where we got two characters that basically do the same thing. There's no reason for that. We're creators. Let's create different lanes. and let's do that. And if there are characters that are similar, like for instance, like how we just mentioned it, we got a bunch of street level characters. We got Sith Row, we got Maven and Absolver Story. We got a lot of different street levels, but they're all so different, and that's what makes it dope.
You know, love it, man. You got Decimation Earth.
Yes. Shout out to Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Dave. Dave is amazing. That was a nice gritty story as well, man. Futuristic, kind of take you into just a after Earth type of feel to it, but you're trying to blend the fabrics of reality of what's going on, and Dave is weaving a great story that's kind of just taking you everywhere.
I love it, man. You did do something with Andy and Starboy, man, and I actually really enjoyed this, man.
So that's by Daniel D. Calvo as well, the writer of Tenok. Andy Starboy is his baby. That's his first baby. Yeah. It was written as a one shot. It was supposed to be a one shot. He had other plans for it, but he really wanted to go the film route with that one. Like he has some like animation ideas for that. So, nice. But that one issue is a lot of people's favorites. It's a lot of people's favorites, man. I've been talking to him with a way to bring Andy into the multiverse of things, and I got an idea because that group that you see Acolyte with, that's on my poster. They come together for a specific reason, and in one of my pitches, Andy was the one that came from his dimension to gather the greatest heroes from our universe and get them together, and they do some things to fight something. So that was an idea. You know what I mean? That was an idea. That was
in my head, man. That would be a great collab with Acolyte as you start to expand the universe that Acolyte kind of plays in, especially space. I mean, there's no limitation to that, right? And so there's got to be at a certain point where they bump into each other or something, man.
Yeah, no, it's dope because Andy Starboy, he's in another universe. Like his Earth is a bunch of people that look like him. It's mutants and all kind of stuff. So to blending those universes, which there is an idea for that, how we're going to do that. And, I'm excited to start introducing the other dimensions and realms and things like that with our universe, because it's so much coming. Some of our villains, man. Yeah. The villain I'm about to show you guys in Acolyte number 7. I'm scared. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm gonna do with him. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him. I actually think, man, that's kind of what makes me excited to write Acolyte, because even in this first volume, when he meets the big bad at the end of issue 5 and 6, I don't know what I'm gonna do with her. I don't know how I'm gonna beat her. I have no clue. So I'm writing in my head. I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why the story kind of comes off very easy to consume to a lot of people, because I'm not writing it with like I know how everything ends, but where I'm going right now, I'm just flowing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just flowing with it. And I'm at a standstill. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna beat this girl. I don't know.
I love it. How about Luna?
Luna, man, the lovely Luna. So Carla actually, she started her own company, Black Girl Comics, and we thought it was a great idea for her to launch her company with Luna. So Luna issues 1 and 2 are what we published. Now she's gonna bring over issue 1, 2, and 3 with her publishing company, and we're gonna send her on her way to do amazing things, man. So major shout out to Carla. It was amazing building with her, seeing her from where she didn't have a book to now, having a fan base and 2 issues in, about to drop a third, simply amazing. Yeah. And that to me is one of the greatest feelings as a publisher, just seeing people flourish into their comic book careers and go off to do their own thing. Mm-hmm. She got Black Girl Comics. Daniel got Grim Core Comics, where he's doing a horror thing and he's killing it over there. And it's just dope to see it.
Yeah. I talked to her actually earlier today, man. Carla, man, she's a wonderful human being, by the way. If you don't follow her, Moon the Storyteller on Instagram, she's actually quite active on Instagram. So check her out if you're not following her already. But yeah, man, I want to say congratulations. man, just every time I go through my boxes, I'm like, oh, I need to reread that, man. It's been a while. But it's so cool to see. You started off in the music industry before comics, right?
Man, it was dope that you had my Clark Kent song.
Clark Kent. I had to go old school Alonzo, man.
I wasn't expecting that, man. Like I clicked it and the sound was off, so I just clicked it. But then when I clicked the button, I heard my voice. I said, "Hold on, man, that sounds like me right there." Yeah, yeah, definitely. The music is my baby. I'm actually making music now for the universe. I wanted to make instrumental albums for if you read in Concrete Comics, I got some beats for you to read to and rock out. And it might slip in a couple songs while you're listening. You might hear my voice like, hold on, man, that's Lonzo rapping. So I think that's my next passion to go alongside of the comics is really get back into making the instrumentals and just making grooves for people to chill out to.
I mean, I think that would be an amazing addition to like a Kickstarter. When you hit a certain goal, you get one of those kind of releases of some of the music that you're developing. I think that'd be really cool, man. But yeah, man, I remember last time, it was probably the first time that we ever talked, man. You were telling me about Clark Kent, man, and then I started listening to some of your other music, man. So I had to throw that on there, man. Like, dude, I'm having Lonzo on, man. We gotta show the breadth of all the talent that you have,
man. I definitely appreciate that, but I think I've made it so far in the comic realm. I barely talk about the music now, but it's a major part of who I am. It's a major part of who, why I move the way I move, how I operate the comic book businesses because of what I learned in the music side. It's very similar. The industry, the way you market, the way you promote, the way you network, it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
But I think it adds the music. When you promote music, you got to have a certain tenacity, man, because people do not want to give you a chance at all. Yeah. Comics is a little easier. If something looks cool, people are interested to check it out.
Yeah.
In the music, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. But if you can get people to like you in music, you can get people. You can get people to like you anywhere in any genre.
I also think, just because music really is storytelling, and obviously comic books is about storytelling. And I want to bring that up because if you're thinking about delving into Acolyte and the rest of the Konkret world, just to know that your start was in music, which is storytelling. I mean, it really does cross over, and you could tell that you already had a background in storytelling as you jump into Acolyte. And then when you find out you're a musician first, I mean, you kind of understand, right, that the storytelling would be there because music really is, like I said, storytelling. And so I think that says a lot about you as a leader of a publisher like Konkret, and also as a writer and a creator of your comic book, man. So
I totally agree with that. And it's funny, Clark Kent was kind of the spark of it was actually the spark of me getting back in the comics, because when I made the song, it's the timing is everything. Like the divine time is real. It's real. So I made Clark Kent in, I want to say 2012, 2013. And I wasn't even really tapped in with like what was going on in the film world. But I remember Batman vs Superman was coming out. And I was sitting on the song because it didn't match with none of the other music I was putting out. So it was just sitting there in the cut. And I was like, man, I'm gonna drop. Like, I changed my whole image to kind of be more into like a nerd, like the nerd realm, because I was talking about more of that type of stuff. So when the movie came out, it was just perfect timing, because it led me to put the song out, Clark Kent. And because I wanted to promote it and market it, I said, man, I've never been to a Comic-Con. Let me take my flyers to a Comic-Con. And it was when it was Wizard World in Philadelphia. And I called one of my boys, and he rolled with me, and we were just in the Comic-Con dropping off flyers. And that's when I started seeing, like, just started falling back in love with the industry and everything I used to love when I was younger, because I was so far removed from it in the music industry. I wasn't seeing it. I wasn't looking at it. And but Clark Kent kind of led me back there. And I had made a song after that called Moonwalker. This was before I thought about Acolyte. Now, the name Acolyte was always in my head because I used to be an acolyte in church when I was younger. I always thought it was a dope name. So when I made Moonwalker and I'm writing the lyrics, the whole concept is about a guy that was traveling through space, and he was doing all these things before he got home to tell his girl where he was. And she don't know what he does, but he was just out there. And when I listened to that song Moonwalker, I'm like, dang, I really was talking about Acolyte before I created him. So when I created Acolyte, it just was like everything was already there. Yeah. It just needed to be brought out. But Clark Kent was the spark that led me down the path of starting to do a lot more comic booky things. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how it turned out.
And it's also amazing, like when you look at music in general. I mean, Metallica from the hard rock side of it, Aerosmith, like all these guys are big comic book fans. And you look at hip hop with Eminem, Wu-Tang, Biggie, like, I mean, they have covers now, right? So there's a lot of crossover between music and comics, and it makes sense that you would kind of go back to your first love and blend those two together. And I do think there's something there as you're creating this universe, that there would be music that kind of matches where you're going with your universe. I feel like there's something there that not too many people are tapping into, Lonzo, and I think that could be really good.
Now, I think it's dope because, what's funny is when I started doing the comic book, all these guys I knew my whole life somehow now are all nerds. They all coming out like, hey, man, I got a collection. I'm like, you were collecting comic books? And like people I knew for a long time just started revealing, because it's like in the Black community, we don't really talk about that too much. Like it's deemed uncool for a lot of people. So a lot of people they're just like, they're nerds in private. So when I started doing that, it was like, it almost sparked a light in all my friends to be like, oh, I can come outside now and talk about this. Because Lonzo's out here rapping about it, and he's going to Comic Cons, and now I can say I can go. And then, so now it's like everybody started coming out, man, and it just been dope. It's been dope to really see that. And I see it like when I go and speak at the schools and do projects with the schools, I know what it would do if I was that age and I saw somebody like me doing what I'm doing. It would have lit my whole fire. Yeah. If I knew somebody was making comic books that looked like me out there, where I was from, it would have burnt my whole membrane down. I would have went crazy, and I would have had to do it. You know what I mean? So
absolutely, you gave permission, man. You created permission for people to go ahead and come out and admit, man, hey, I love storytelling, man. I love these worlds that people created. So I love it, man. I love it.
It's been an amazing journey, man. As many people, that's a side that a lot of people don't get to touch on. You touch a lot of lives when you write comic books, man. A lot of people just, they lock in. They lock in with you for life. Once they love it, they're with you forever. You know what I mean? And people don't, that's the one side I don't hear a lot of people on interviews talk about. It's like, you really reach people. You can really make somebody's day. Yeah, or motivate them to go down a whole journey that they didn't know they could do. I've had people tell me that it just seeing what we've done with Konkret, it motivated people to just really chase their dreams, whether it be whatever they wanted to do, a game developer, or they just want to get back into painting or modeling. It's just the courage to do it is what motivates them. Yeah,
so true, man. You were, it might have been last year, there was some noise about maybe doing something live action.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we do got so we do got Drafted Origins. Mr. Anaji Rouse, the creator of Odina, he dropped Drafted Origins. I think that was 2 years ago, which does feature Odina in it. It's like in her universe, but it's like a side universe to it. But we're steadily in communication with people that been really interested in some of our titles. A lot of them are interested in, I'll just say off the top of their head, when they talk about live action, a lot of people come to us about Primate and Watchmen. Yeah. I think they're very easily to translate in the film.
Street level, right? I think Acolyte would be dope, but I mean, you're talking CGI, you're talking, right?
I'm talking big budget, man. To do it the way I want to do it. But there is I do have a script concept I created where it was more It was more. It was a depowered acolyte. Something happened to him. Some lady touched him that could drain powers. She was angry that he didn't save her son, I guess, from a thing. And in the midst of it, all the villains in the city are like, "Oh, he ain't got his power. Let's go out there." But they forget he was trained by King Kalan. He got hands. So it was my way of showing him. You know what I'm saying? So it was my way of showing. It was my love story of the original Acolyte. He was more street based before I decided to go all the way up there. So that was my way of beating the budget. You know what I'm saying? I was going to do a story like that. But yeah, no, we would love that live action. We're actually talking to a video game developer. So these are things we're all working on, man. We're trying to really elevate the company and just elevate the industry and kind of just be that spark, man, that shows we're not, don't let the word indie hold you back. Right. You know?
I mean, indie, trust me, I'm a big fan of DC and Marvel, so no shade, Image Comics, Mad Cave, they're putting out some amazing stuff. I will say, though, some of the most unique stories take place in indie comics. And that's why I have such a passion around the indie part of comic books, too, because there's not as many rules. And so you could really tell unique stories, I think, in indie that might not come through if you're writing that same storyline through a Daredevil or through a Punisher or through a Superman, right? Because you have this longevity and everything that goes along with that longevity. So you're kind of limited on what you could do with those characters. Plus, you got a lot of cooks in the kitchen, right? You got editors and everybody who wants certain things to go. So you're limited as a writer. And when you start to break out and create your own thing, all of a sudden, man, there's no rule. The rule, you're making the rules. It's up to you. So I love that about indie comics because you could go in places that a lot of characters can't go that you would want. Like, I wish Daredevil would do this, but it wouldn't make sense for him to do that. But I love that character. But Watchmen can do that, right?
Yeah,
it can do that.
I think it's amazing that you say that because sometimes when we're at these Comic Cons where our table is usually in like. We're usually near the pro section. We're usually like right across from them. So some of these big name dudes, and I've had some of them ask me, say, "Hey man, like, you know, how did you do this on your own? Like, how did you create your own comic? Like, what were the processes?" And to me, I'm blown back because I'm like, yo, this guy is like, you know, he's up there. Like so perception is a real thing because a lot of times us on the indie side are looking at them to see how they did what they did. And a lot of times they're looking at us to see how we did what we did. And then it becomes that unity of like, yo, you can do this. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to. Now, how do I get in there though? You know what I mean? How does that work out? But I think too, the word indie, like I think it was created to keep a divide between the professionals
to protect their brand, right?
Exactly. Because when you really think about it, I think that indie term really only applies to somebody that is just like say I was just Lonzo Starr and I was just putting out a book. It didn't have a brand behind it. It didn't have nothing. It was just like I just put out a comic book. But once you start making it a business, you got an LLC and all this other stuff, and you're doing brand partnerships and collaborations. Are you really indie anymore at that point? You know? You're just a publisher. You're just a publisher at that point, you know, like Source Point Press and all them other guys.
When your stack looks like this, I'm not sure you're indie anymore, right?
That's what I'm saying. You're just a publisher. Yeah. But I think that word indie, when people hear it, like say you're just talking to a random comic book fan, when they hear, "Oh, you're indie," they automatically put you in the amateur box versus just looking at you as an established publisher. You know,
that's a good point, Lonzo. I wonder how, as a fan base, we try to change that, right? Because I still use it, right? And that's such a good point. It's almost related to quality in a lot of people's eyes. So the minute you say indie, you think it's going to be a lower quality, and that's just not the case. I mean, there's some amazing publishers out there that don't get the love that some of these larger publishers get, but they're putting out really high quality products.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the word does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
You know,
it
does a lot of damage because if and you see it sometimes. There may be a bad book that comes out that's an indie book, and people will use that to blanket the whole entire thing. Like, see, this is why I don't support indies because this and that and blah blah blah. And it's like you painting all of us with the same brush when there's books from the professionals that you can say are on that same quality. Not all the art is always good. They have editing problems. Sometimes there's periods missing. There's things happen. Things happen in all books, man. And it's just a reality. And there's a big difference between just a bad book and like just a book, you know?
Yeah,
so yeah. Well, hopefully we can find a way to eradicate this indie term or just to give it more value. But I think 2026, you won't be hearing me really use that no more, man. We're just Concrete Comics. We're a publishing company that publishes some of the best books in the world. And that's it.
I like that, man. I like that. Hey, Brad has a question here. Is there another Watchmen issue in the works? Anything going on?
Oh, yes, there is. Me and Lau were just talking about some dope ideas and stories and weaving in his big villain because his story is leading up to some really dope stuff. You kind of those villains in the crossover, they were from Watchmen's universe.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? He has a really thick rogue gallery, and sometimes that's the difficulty when you're a great writer. You got so many ideas. How do you package them into the perfect box? So Lau is planning his direction to be right. But when he pops out, is when he does come out, which is going to be in 2026, it's going to be 4 issues 1 through 3. And then he's got 4, 5, and 6 coming as well. So
nice. Incredible.
Yeah, that's dope. We just finished up Primate 1 through 3, so that's going to be going out to the backers. Well, we sent the digitals out, but that's the physicals are going out next. And just to give y'all a heads up, he already has issue 4 has been done for months, so that's already done. He's already locked and loaded. You know what I mean? Zoriel, her volume is a 1 through 3, and just to let you guys know, 2 is almost done and 3 is in progress. So that's gonna be coming the second quarter of 2026. So I'm excited, man. I'm just excited. And in the next maybe this week, I'm gonna be announcing our newest creator and character coming to Concrete Comics, and y'all have seen him around. He's been making moves. He's popular out there. People know the image, they know the look. So when they find out he's a part of Concrete, I think his stock gonna go up crazy because he's in a home that it looks perfect for him.
That's super exciting, Lonzo, man. I'm so happy, man. You just keep adding amazing creators. I love it, man. Concrete University is going to get bigger and bigger.
Oh yeah, man. And it's definitely everyone fills a void, man. So I'm excited for these characters. I'll say characters because there's a couple, but there's one that's announced now. But there's some dope characters coming into Concrete Comics, and it's definitely gonna set a tone. It's definitely gonna set a tone and just give something that the fans can come go to our website. And they can literally sift through all the titles and find something that they like. It don't got to be Acolyte. It don't got to be Absolver. Yeah. So it may be Watchmen. It may be Deja Vu. Maybe whatever your taste is, we got something for that. So I'm very excited for that, man.
I love it too, man. I'm gonna put the website right here so people can go and check out all these amazing titles because there is a lot to take a look at. And like you said, if you're street level, there's street level. If you like sci-fi, you like things outside of this world, you got that, right? If you want strong women and gods, you got that. Like you could go in a lot of different directions with everything that you all have been creating, and it's amazing. Now, you just had a Kickstarter, which, you know, I filled some voids that I had, but you also had trades. If people miss that, where can they pick up the trades?
So, as you know, trades are such a difficult thing when you're a indie publisher because, like, you know, stocking them and making sure you're buying them for the value. But we're working on putting them in places that are very tangible. We're working on putting our books on Amazon and places like that, so you'll be able to get the trades. Trades are mainly be on like Amazon and stuff like that. It's just easier to distribute worldwide. But we will have them, and we'll always have them at our conventions. So if you guys want to get them in person, you can meet us at one of our conventions. We're going to be doing about 7 cities this year coming up too. We're already locked in. I think we're already locked in for DreamCon. We're going to be doing New York again. We're going to be doing I think we got something in Baltimore. Most definitely Philly, as always. I want to do some up in Connecticut because that's where Primate, the creator of Primate, he's up in Connecticut. So it's a big con up there. Maybe we do Boston. So yeah, I plan on hitting a lot of places. So if you guys do want the trades, we will always have these with us when we go to conventions. So you never got to worry about that.
So right now, as far as trades, you have 4 out, right?
Yep, we got 4.
Yeah,
we got
so you have
4.
Odina, Deja Vu, and what was the 4th one?
Absolver.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. Absolver. And you actually have Imani as well. Her issues 1 through 3 is done. And then next will be Zoriel. We might drop Primate 1 through 3 as a trade as well, because it makes sense the way it flows. We could throw the 0 issue in there. And then so that's definitely the plan. Because it's funny, people online rather the floppies. People in person want the trades.
For sure. I also think there's an age thing there. I don't know if you noticed that at the cons. I think the older you are, like me, I'm a big floppy guy. I got boxes everywhere. Yeah. That's what I grew up on. So I do have some trades, but if I have floppies, I won't buy the trade because I got the floppies, right? But I think the younger you are, especially with the popularity around manga, they want a longer story.
Yeah,
to be able to sit down and consume at one time, and it just makes a lot more sense. So it's so smart that you're getting into trades, because I think they're 2 completely different consumers, and you're tapping into both of those, and I think that's so smart, man.
It's funny you say that, because there's digital. Yep. They're a completely different audience. Then you got the floppies, then you got the trades, and then you got the compendiums. People exactly. So it's like they're all different people, because I'm not a compendium guy. That's just too much. That's just way too much for me to consume. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trade, I had to get used to the trades. Trades wasn't my thing either. But when you're a creator, it's just this book. It feels crazy, man. To know, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just to know you did something like this.
Yeah.
And people are buying it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just an amazing feeling. But the trades. In trades, sometimes it's on the business side, it may be cheaper. It's cheaper for you as a publisher to get, because the risk is higher when you go to a Comic-Con. Say I go there with issues 1 through 6 of Acolyte. Most likely issues 1 through 3 are going to sell out, and then once they're sold out, I'm stuck with 4, 5, and 6, and people are like, you ain't got the first ones, and then you just got stock. You know what I mean? So with a trade, you could just be like, yo, if you want the whole story, just go and get the whole story, man.
Yeah. Such a good point, man. And, when you're selling them individually and you have 6 issues, people want to kind of get their feet wet first before they dive into the whole thing. And so I think I do that too, man. When I go by and I see creators, I'm not going to buy 1 through 6, man. I don't know you. I don't know your character, but I want to test it, right? Because I want to find that next story that's going to consume me for a while. So I'll buy a couple issues, try it out. If I like it, I'll find you. I promise. I got lots of people I found. So
yeah. So that for any creators that's listening, that's interested in doing cons, and you got a lot of books, just think of that, man. You don't want to have extra stock for no reason. And just think of yourself as a consumer when you go out there. Like, how do you buy books? Most people will say, "Oh, I'm just going to test it out first."
Yeah.
Like 99% of people are going to say, "I'm just going to test it." If you buy the whole series, then whoever sold you that book was locked in. You know what I'm saying? They were locked in. Like they
sell cars on the weekends or something, because that's crazy.
They sold that thing because the trades move. The trades move great, but it is like you do got to sell. You got to talk and tell them what this is, and let them look through the book. And that's the good thing. Once they look through it, they're like, "Oh, this looks kind of dope. How much is this?" And then you get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I will say there's a selfishness on my end, though. I don't want you to print too many. or at least change the cover, because I'm very proud to have one of these bad boys right here, man.
So that is something I want to do in 2026. 2026 is like a soft rebrand for Concrete Comics. So the one thing that I wish we had the chance to do when we first dropped, because we were just so hungry, we just wanted to get out there. We weren't thinking about like first print, second print, third print, and whatever. We just putting the books out. We were just like, yo, just get it, just get it. So now that we know kind of the industry, with the soft rebrand, we wanted to do that. So these next books, maybe we'll add a little something different on the cover, maybe a new insignia, but it'll be first print and maybe, the variant, second print and third print. So people can get that chance to feel like they're in that collector's hunt. That's what we didn't get to experience that. People collected our books because of the Kickstarter helped with that, because we do exclusive covers on Kickstarter. So some people got the Concrete books with the green K on it.
Yeah.
That won't be printed again because that's Kickstarter exclusive.
Yeah.
That's
what my Watchmen is, issue 2.
See, that's crazy. See? And so if you came up to me in person with that book, I would automatically know where you got it. And that's the cool thing. That's the cool thing about it, man. So
same with Primate. Yeah, Primate too.
See? Look at that.
Yeah.
However many people bought that on that Kickstarter, that's the only books that's printed from it.
I love it, man. I love it. I think people need to know that too, right? That's why they got to jump in early on those Kickstarters and make sure that they're taking advantage of it, because I don't know, it's a hook, man. I love it. You catch me with that. I like it.
Yes, and that's and being able to communicate that is the other challenge, because that takes a level of online presence and marketing, being able to communicate that, because a lot of people don't care. Some people just be like, yo, I just want the book. I don't care. But for the people that are collectors, when they hear those stuff like, oh, this is limited edition, let me get that. You know what I mean? How many of these when we printed? 3? I need it.
Well, if you can give me the option, I'll always, like, I'm not a big cover guy. Like, I don't buy like 6 of one issue because of the covers. One, I can't afford to do that, man, because I collect a lot of comic books. But if you give me a choice between the two, I'm going to always take that one green K, make sure it's in my collection, because why not, right? Why would you use it if it's an option?
Yeah, no, that's dope. So that's something I'm definitely working on, is because I am doing like a 2025 wrap up in December, where I'm just get on live and talk about what we did, and I lay out where we're going. So that is something I definitely want to highlight, is we're really getting into the first print, second print type of mindset with all our releases. January we're gonna re-release on the website the issue 1s, and then maybe February issue 2s, and we're going to really do it the true way, and build you up into the next arc. So for anybody that doesn't know who Concrete is, it's the perfect time to join and learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing world that you've built, man. There is, I know you've been on with Paul over at Black Comic Lords. I try to watch them on Wednesday nights and whatnot. They got a virtual con coming. Are you going to participate in that?
Apparently I'm in it. I just got a flyer.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't want to say anything. I wasn't sure if it's been released. I know, like, on the day, I was talking to Paul, and he's been releasing every so often who, like, the next creator, and I was like, hey, Concrete better be in there.
yeah, we in there, and I believe I'm on a panel, a couple panels, so that should be really dope. I'm excited. Shout out to Black Comic Lords. They're a great establishment, great place to learn about comics and to get grown, man. Overall, just shout out to Facebook, man. Facebook has so many groups for independent creators to really get yourself seen and heard. And I think a lot of people, they see so many successful TikTokers and YouTubers, they don't realize how hard that is. Like, that's another level of hard you got to be dedicated. There's a couple people. So my boy Brent from Impound Comics and Danny, they figured out the algorithm. They know how to be present in that world. And some people just got it. I ain't got that. I ain't got the patience. I ain't got the time for that. But I think I found another way, for my own way. But shout out to those guys. They figured out TikTok. They figured out just how to do that. But if you notice, they're not really in the groups, the Facebook groups, because that may not just be their thing.
Yeah.
So, just finding a thing. But shout out to Facebook for having those groups, man, because it helps a lot. It helps a lot.
I will tell you one of the reasons why I like Black Comic Lore is, one, they're super knowledgeable on the history of comic books just in general. But you're sitting in a chat and you got Dennis Cohen in the chat. I mean, you got like some legends in their chat just like asking questions like, dude, what other channel has, these type of legends within the industry just in the chat talking to all the fans, man? That's why I'm like, dude, I don't know of another YouTube channel that has that level of legends in the industry, from Milestone, from like all over the place, man. It just blows me away, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's crazy when you get into it, especially when you're in the business, because we see a lot of these guys at the cons. I got to meet Dennis several times, and he shows us so much love, and it's just dope that everybody's touchable. Well, not touchable, but you know what I mean. Like everybody's
right? They're approachable.
Everybody's approachable and reachable. And share information, give advice, and give feedback. So it's a dope community. And even what you do, man, I love what you do. You have a great platform here that really helps grow the culture. You shed light on some really dope books that people may not know of, and you just giving people a chance, man. Like even right now, there's a lot of people that don't know who I am that are being introduced to me right now through your platform, and I appreciate it.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's what the whole platform is for, man. It's all about the creator, all about the artist, all about the writer. That's. I don't do very many reviews. I'm not a review guy. One, I mean, I have a platform where I'm interviewing people, right? So if I do a review on Acolyte and I talk about how much I hated it, and then I reach out to you and I'm like, Lonzo, you want to come on my podcast? That's not going to work, right? It's just not how it works, right? So I stay away from that. Yeah, there's things I like. There's things that are not for me. I just move on to the next book if it's not for me, man. But I will tell you, you don't buy this many comics from one publisher if it's not for you. So
I definitely appreciate that. And it's funny you mentioned those reviewers, because I had a Black Comic Lords had me on for one segment. It was about reviewers and the indie community and why they clash so much. And one of my responses was for me, if somebody reviews my thing, give it a bad review, I have enough good reviews that doesn't bother me. But for somebody that's brand new, just coming out the woodworks, trying to do it, a bad review can obliterate their career automatically. When if I review comics, people have asked me to review their comic book, and I'll never put it out publicly, whether I like it or not. I'll talk to them directly and say, yo, this is what I thought. Because I don't want to influence people. Like, how do you give a bad review and then say, but go ahead and check it out, y'all. Tell me what you think about it. Like, what are you talking about? You already said it was trash. So you know what I'm saying? Why do that? So I think, there's a place for reviewers. It's dope to have them. But if you're just in it to create chaos, I don't see the point. A lot of people review comics for, like, they review comics, but for some reason all the reviews are negative. Like every comic you're reviewing, you're talking about why it needs work. Like, where is the stuff that you're like going crazy about? Like, yo, this is dope, this is that, Like, where's it has to be even. You got to even it out somehow. It can't just be negative.
Balance, right? The reality is not everything's bad. And it's just, so if you're only talking about the bad stuff, you're not reading enough, or you're just not genuine. And maybe it's clickbait, maybe it's who knows, but it's just not genuine, man. Again, I'm not putting shade on people who do that. Look, someone needs to review. I know not everything's great, but you got to be balanced, man. Not everything's bad. It's just not. I read a lot of comic books, man, and I've read some bad ones. But you know what? I get it. I have a lot of younger people that watch me. I'm never going to go on there and trash it, because I have had stuff that I don't like that they like, and I don't get it, man. I don't like it. Wasn't for me. I'll just keep it to myself. I'm not going to, not just to the creator, but also to the reader. like that. I don't think the comic book industry itself is strong enough to crap on everything and expect people to jump in for the first time and get into comics. I think we need as many readers as possible. So if there's a comic that I didn't like, but you love it, man, I'm happy for you, man. Go get that comic book, read that comic book. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to say anything about it because I don't want to persuade you either way. Knock yourself out, man. I won't buy it because I didn't care for it. It wasn't for me, but I'm not going to say nothing about it. Knock yourself out, man.
Yeah, there's too much there's definitely too much negative out there, man. And it's nothing wrong with having a negative review,
for
right?
Sure.
But you also got to think about how is this going to affect this person, right? There's constructive criticism, then there's just your opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of times with these reviewers, it's just their opinion. They didn't attach to it. That doesn't mean the story wasn't well done or wasn't scripted well. And I've seen people get reviews like that where I've read the book and I was like, I got it. I knew what they were talking about, but because that reviewer didn't understand something, they're rating the story, 2 out of 5, and it's unfair. So reviewing, you got to be a brave person to review. You got to be brave because especially if you're a creator, if you're a creator and you're reviewing, you better be him. You better be Himothy. You know what I'm saying? Because don't you put out no trash now because it's over for you. You better be good. I still remember some of my bad reviews I got when I first dropped Acolyte, and these were unsolicited reviews. I didn't ask people. One person they said Acolyte is generic because he has a cape and it's too whatchamacallit, blah blah blah. Somebody else was saying they just didn't like the whole Destiny theme of it or whatever. But that was their whole reason for like the bad review. Luckily, I had a team behind me. I got my boys that I trust in, and I know myself. So, but if that was somebody else, it could have derailed them. It could have got them out of there. You know what I'm saying? It could have really hurt their spirit, made them unconfident to write and create. And that's just what it is. So I appreciate the reviewers. I appreciate the negatives and the goods, whatever.
Yeah.
But be careful. That's all I'm gonna say. Comic Cons do exist, and people do find you, man. You know what I'm saying?
I also think just social media in general creates a lot of bravery. Was it Mike Tyson? I can't remember his saying. I'm gonna screw it up, but he said everyone's really brave until you get punched in the mouth, man.
You punched in the mouth, man.
Really, real fast, man. Not that I was saying violence is the answer, but I'm telling you right now, you crap on someone, you see them, they probably don't want to talk about it.
Some people got to lower their tone a little bit, man. You know what I mean? Like, don't get too crazy out there. Give your review, but once you start like once you get personal.
Yeah,
I mean, that was up now. Now that was up. I've seen there was somebody had gave a negative review to. It might have been Luna one time. It was some dude on YouTube, and you critiquing the story is one thing. That's fine, but once you start attacking the creator, now we on you. That was up now. So. Me and Jamil, the writer of Absolver, we got in that comment section. We was going in. You know what I mean? He wound up taking the video down, but it is what it is, man. You can talk about the story all you want. I don't care nothing about that. But once you start attacking people, that's when you're tripping,
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. Lonzo, couldn't agree more, man. It's kind of funny, but yeah, you're so right, man. That's why I think the platform, man, let's just give people a platform, try it out. If it's not for you, move on to the next thing, man. There's a lot of comic books that I own that are sitting in a box, and I'm not sure I'll read it again anytime soon, but, give it a chance, man. I try everything. I don't care, man. I'll try
I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what's dope? Because I got a big box of indies I supported from Kickstarter. And even though I may not read all of them, some of them I've never read, but just the dopeness of having these books that are so rare, because they're rare. Like everybody got Marvel, DC comics and Image comics, but I open this box and you looking through it and you're like, what is this? It's kind of like how I felt when I was younger and I went to Remember like how supermarkets used to have the comic books on a stand right next to the cash register? So my mom would bring home like the Max and Evil Ernie. Like I don't think she knew what she was getting, but she was getting them. But I read the Max and I was like, yo, this is kind of fire. But it wasn't mainstream. Like a lot of people didn't know about it, but I knew about it. And I think that's something I got in my box. So I pull it out. People are like, what is this? Oh, this is the Max. You don't know about the Max? And you get to drop them in, or some other indie comic that you may not know about. Yeah. I got it, and it's just like it's a new world. It's a new world for somebody that doesn't know.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, Sam Keith art, man. The Max. Woo.
Oh. Max is fire.
I was looking right here. I got my character. I don't know where it's at, but I got my action figure of the Max, man. It's one of my favorite figures that I own. I don't know where it's at, but
the Max was dope too. When he was on, he used to have a cartoon, right?
Yeah, it was on MTV. Remember?
MTV. Yep.
Yeah.
And that thing was dope.
If you read it and you start to kind of dig into the background, like it's deep, man. Like the storyline is deep.
It was very similar to how like it felt like how Spawn's world felt. It was dark. It was dark. It was gloomy. And as a kid, I'm reading as a kid, and I'm just like, this I'm just a little bit strange, but I like it. Like I ain't gonna tell my mama what it is, but
yeah, exactly.
I like. Yo, you know what's funny? My mom, the first comic my mom bought me was like Spawn. She had no clue what that was.
Yeah.
So I'm reading it. I'm like, Mom, right? Are you serious right now? Are you this what you brought home? Like, I wanted Spider-Man or something.
Did you flip through this thing, man?
She had no clue. She just in her head a comic was for kids. So she got it, brought it home. So here I bought you a comic book. I'm reading this.
She grew up, right? It was more for kids, right? Because comics started off for kids, and then in the late 80s, it kind of took a little bit of a turn. You had a little bit of you had those comic fans wanting to tell like more real life stories. They got real fast, man. And you're like 10, 12 years old. You get to issue 5 of Spawn with Billy Kincaid. Whew, that's crazy, bro.
I got Spawn was like one of my first. Max, Evil Ernie. It was a bunch of weird ones, but somehow she used to get me a lot of Archie books too.
Oh yeah.
So because he was right on the stand at all the supermarkets, his little book. So I used to love reading Archie. You know what I mean? I thought it was dope with his. He used to have 2 girls. You know what I mean? Choose from, and had his boy eating the burgers. You know what I'm saying? So I loved Archie. So I had a real diverse, upbringing. And like you mentioned music earlier, Wu-Tang was such a big influence for me because of their blend of 3 of my favorite things. They blended. I'm a big kung fu guy. I'm huge in the world of kung fu. I know it all. So they do that, and then they name themselves Iron Man and Ghost Rider. You know what I mean? They take on all these monikers of everything I love, and then they rap in the most gangster, gulliest things in the world. It's like they're just a blend of everything I love. Absolutely. And Wu-Tang was the branding was fire. You know what I'm saying? And I loved it because I'm a big kung fu guy, and they all their names, 36 chambers, everything is kung fu based. Everything. But hearing Method Man call himself Johnny Blaze and Ghostface Killer, which is a prominent kung fu character, also calls himself Tony Starks. It's fire, bro. Raekwon the chef.
Yeah. That's why that in between music and comics is close, man. It is close.
It's close. It's seeing how Nas and them just did their thing. And I was at New York Comic Con when I was there.
Yeah.
And Redman dropped the book. I just missed him. I was like, see, the world is like, it's so married together, hip hop and just music in general. And because I think Post Malone dropped a comic book too.
It's called Big Rig. I have the writer. I had it right here. I have the writer on in 2 weeks.
Really? See, that's awesome.
Not Post Malone. I wish I had Post Malone. I love Post Malone, man. Yeah, right here, Big Rig.
Yep. Yeah.
Adrian
I got
Watson.
to see.
Adrian Watson, all that stuff. Yep. Nathan Gooden is the artist. The art is crazy in this, man. If
Mm,
you like grayscale, like black and white
okay.
grayscale, and then when something bad happens, right, there's some red splashes, but it's grayscale. It's
So
beautiful, man.
that's fire.
Man,
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta check it out, man. New York Comic Con was crazy because all those guys were there.
yeah,
Everybody was in the building, man. Like, I didn't get to see nobody because I'm at my table going crazy. But I tried to sneak out. I tried to sneak out to Redman's book signing, and they was like, he just left 5 minutes ago. Every time I went to somebody's table, oh, he just left 5 minutes ago. I said, man, this is some BS, man. You know what I'm saying? I was
I'm
just trying
sure
to
his
get
line was
there.
insane too, though. I bet you his line was crazy. They probably capped it off.
Yeah, but
Man,
I guarantee you, like just Nas or any of those guys,
yeah.
they probably don't know something like Concrete Comics exists. So if I get a chance to meet one of them, I guarantee you'll be hearing about a partnership for sure, because
You want a
because
free trade of Acolyte?
that's what I'm saying. Do you have the DMC book?
Yes. Yeah.
So I got a funny story with DMC. This was
Uh,
in 2017. He was doing a book signing. 2018, he was doing a book signing in Philly at Amalgam Comics. And Amalgam Comics is where we did our first book signing at. I've been wanting to get in there for a minute, right? But so when I met him, all I had was a poster of Acolyte, and I was just telling him like, "Yo, I'm doing this comic book. Any advice, whatever?" And he was just laying it on me. He was giving me all kind of feedback, and he was going in. So I've seen him over the years at cons, but never really getting to talk to him or anything like that. So at New York Comic Con, he was there, and I walked up on him with the trade, and I said, "Man, you may not remember, but I met you years ago, and I was in the beginning phase of this, and now we're Concrete Comics. We have a whole publishing company." And he said, "Yo, I heard of Concrete Comics, but I gave him the trade for free, and he was just excited to have it." And but it was just a story that he probably don't even know.
yeah.
But he played a major part in just giving me the courage to go out there. You know what I mean?
That is incredible, man. That's a memory you stay with for the rest of your life, man. Thank you, Chris, man. Congrats to both of you on your success. Well, I would tell you, man, Lonzo, congrats to you, bro. I mean, it's insane what you've been able to accomplish. It's crazy. It's crazy that we're sitting here. I mean, you already were doing it the first time I met you because I think you had a couple issues of Acolyte. What were the
Yeah, I think
first
the first time
uh,
I met
Dina?
the first time I met you, we probably were 3 issues in. So
Yeah.
so we had 9 titles at that time. We had Absolver 1 through 3, Odina 1 through 3, Acolyte 1 through 3, and we just introduced Watchmen, Andy Starboy, and Sinnock. So when you met us, it was probably like 10 titles.
Yeah.
10 titles off the rip.
That's
In
crazy, man.
2021. Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember the first of everything, man. But you were one of the first interviews for sure.
Well, I
So
appreciate it, man.
that was sticks out.
I fell in love with right after I read it, man. That's because I didn't even know about your music side. I knew about your comic side because I remember one of the comments you made. Like every time I come on a podcast, like or when someone wants to talk to me, they want to talk to me either about music or they want to talk about me as a publisher.
Right.
But I'm a writer, man. I want to talk about
right. I'll never really get to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? It's always everything. So that's fine too. That's definitely fine. But yeah, like I rarely get those opportunities. So I appreciate these type of interviews because you get to talk to me, and ask me about Acolyte and Zoriel, and I get to really, really let it out. Because usually I'm talking about just the overall,
Yeah. Well, man, I can't tell you how much I always appreciate when you're able to come on. I know you're super busy. You got a lot going on, Lonzo. Congratulations on everything, man. I'm so happy for you. Cannot wait to get the Kickstarter in when that's ready so I can finish up on Acolyte and get ready for that crazy issue 7 that's coming. I'm all in, man. You know me, man. I wear this around town and people are like, what is that? And I have to share. And hey, man.
Yeah.
It's a cool publisher. Check it out.
Now, and it's funny, man. I'm a big DMX fan. Like he's one of my favorite rappers of all. He's in my top 3, right? But when younger, the Rough Rider emblem and the Wu-Tang emblem was so important to me. I wanted Concrete to have that feel. You know what I'm saying? So when you like how you're wearing that, I could see that at music concerts. I could see people walking by like, "Yo, keep it concrete, man." You know what I mean? And I it's everything was a grand scheme. Everything.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. There's a lot of power behind this brand, and I couldn't be happy for you and the rest of the team. I think I've had just about everybody on at least once. Even a couple.
I definitely
want to be the only one, man. I cannot get like the count. I got to reach out again, man, because that guy, he's brilliant, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely want to get Avery on here too with a Primate. Like I would love for you to pick his brain. Like when you talk to him, he one of those writers like one of them Stephen King types. You know, like he don't really speak much, but when you talk to him, you like his ball's deep. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll really talk, he don't really say he's a man of very little words, but when he writes, it's like boom. And you know what I mean? It's crazy. It blows my mind. Him and Jamil are like that. You know what I mean? And obviously because they're both in such deep worlds with Absolver and Primate. You know, it got to be a deeper consciousness there to dive into those type of realms.
Yeah, you know? I mean, Jamil's been on a couple times, man. Him and I got this like Spawn connection too. That we kind of go off on a tangent a little bit on Spawn, but definitely if you're into like Spawn or the Darkness or Witchblade or some of that old school gritty, yes, I'm telling you, Absolver is dope, man. And it gets into like the spiritual realm and all the crazy things that kind of go on that most people overlook. But yeah, it's a dope title, man. I'm telling you.
Exclusive cover by Kanan White right here. You know what I mean?
Kanan White amazing, man. Kanan White's dope, man. I love Kanan White.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, man. But no, brother, this was an amazing session. I know me and you've been trying to get on here for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it's all good, man. What's up? Yeah.
Oh, what's going on, Ricky? How you doing, man?
That's a dope name, man. I wish I would have got that one. I'm a big John Wick guy too, man. So
no, this may be Ricky. This may be one of my glorious interns that's turned to a creator.
Really? Is that right, Ricky?
He's fired. It may be that Ricky. That's the only Ricky I know. Well, I think I know two Rickies. Yeah. But it's the current Ricky that I know. Possibly. I don't know. Maybe it is. But if he's on, man, thank you for popping up, bro.
Yeah.
No, and just to give a heads up, Ricky is a dope writer. He's worked as an intern. He was a part of the editor team, so he worked alongside editor-in-chief. They worked on a lot of dope things. He got to look at, oversee a lot of the books and give the okays and thumbs up to a lot of them. But he also has his own project right now that is dope. It's a manga, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the world to see it, man. So 2026 is going to be a big year for my guy, Ricky, man.
All right, Ricky, you got to hit me up, man. You got to come on when you're ready.
Yes, sir. No, that's fire, man. But nah, bro, thanks for having me on, man, for sure, bro. This was amazing. This show, this podcast. And I'm going to have some announcements for you in December, too. So I might have to text you.
All right.
Because it's something big we're going to be announcing soon.
So. All right. You know, you hit me up, man, anytime. Anytime for you, Lonzo. Anytime, man. I know you got a lot going on, but I appreciate you so much for coming on and let me experience this world that you and the rest of the team is creating, man. Everybody, if you have not picked up a title through Konkret Comics, make sure you go to the link that I shared earlier. I'll share it again right now. Head over there, check them out, man. Konkret Comics is putting forth some amazing titles. And start building up your stack, guys. There's a lot going on, man.
Stacking up, man.
A lot going on, man.
Get your stacks together. Them concrete stacks. Brick. I call these the bricks, man. Concrete bricks. We got to move them.
I love it. I love it, man. And then hopefully you make it down to Texas. If you do, I'll be up there. If you come to Dallas, man, I would love to see you there, Lonzo. Maybe get a bite to eat that night or something with the team. But
hey, man, I've been to Dallas one time. I'm gonna definitely wear my Eagles stuff for sure.
Oh, careful, man. Those play up there.
Well, you know what? Surprisingly, man, when I went to Dallas, the Dallas people are nicer than the Dallas fans in Philly. Like, there's a lot of Dallas fans in Philly, like, and they're belligerent. They're the reason why we hate Dallas. We really don't have a beef with the city. It's the people that live in our city that are just delusional. That's what it is. Nobody else is like that. New York Giants, there's Giants fans there. There's in DC, they're Commander fans.
Yeah.
But in some reason in Philly, it's a 50-50 of Dallas and Eagles fans.
That's crazy.
And we hate them. And we hate them. We hate them all, man.
I mean, Philly's been really good for a while too, man. Dallas has not been good for a long time. So they spend money, but they just can't put everything together, man. Poor Dak, man. If he's not healthy, man, something's always going on, man.
Well, Jerry Jones makes sure win or lose, they gonna be talk of Sports Center. Yeah. You know what I mean? They have a horrible record right now, and they're still like people still like, can they pull it through to make it to the Super Bowl? And we sitting here at 8-2, and they're like, there's something going on with the Eagles. What are we talking about?
Can't get no love on ESPN.
What are we talking about? Jalen Hurts still hasn't figured it out. We're 8-2. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. So it is what it is.
Whatever, right?
But no, I'll definitely let you know, man, if I make it out to Dallas. Man, I would love to get a big ass steak down there with you, man.
Let's do it. All right, Lonzo. Everyone in the chat, Chris, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Everybody in the chat, thanks for coming in to hang out. Get over to KonkretComics.com. Check them out, man. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. Lonzo, you're always welcome. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Y'all have a great weekend and amazing Thanksgiving next week, man. A lot to be thankful for.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
Take it easy, everyone. Appreciate you.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.